I think I just figured out the exact moment that Daryl is gonna die in The Walking Dead. So how do I know what's gonna happen to Daryl Dixon? How is it that all these people that are coming up with these theories, I actually am pretty sure this is exactly what's gonna happen to him. And if it doesn't, I have to hold that. But I have a lot of proof on why I think he's gonna die, when he's gonna die, and how they're gonna make it happen. Um, if there's anything that The Walking Dead does correctly, it's the fact that they foreshadow almost everything that happens in the show. Like, except for like random encounters, if you see like just a whole bunch of symbolism happens to when the characters are about to die, like how it's happening. It happened with Glenn. It happened with Abraham. It happened with the governor. It happened with Andrea. It happened with most of the characters, if not all the characters, when they died. There was a certain phrase that someone said to them that probably didn't mean anything in the context, but once they died, you start to understand. There's a lot of objects that are just randomly placed that have meaning because at one point there's probably an episode where that meant a lot, or that the character found it, or something happened. But that is basically showing, like, that's the end to the damn character. So before I get into the way I think he's actually gonna die, there's actually like two other ways that I think Daryl's character should be portrayed in the show, or like not portrayed, but like the end of the show. So there's one, right? There's one being that he actually is the last one to survive. So this happens, or the reason why I say this can be an excellent way to have the character go about, like, be the last man standing, is because there was this moment when Beth, I guess, like Beth and him were alone. Everyone else got separated, and they ended up going to like this house that reminded him of his father's, or it might have been his father's. I mean, their home or something. But I think he ended up saying, like, this is exactly how, like, my house is, like, with the damn fucking redneck chair or whatever, with the newspaper and the beer or whatever. Um, so when they're outside, right? Beth ended up telling him, like, I'm gonna be dead soon, and you're gonna miss me. And Daryl just looks at him. And he's like, "Don't say that." It's like, "You're gonna miss me, Daryl. You're gonna be the last one standing." And I would actually wouldn't mind this ending for him. That's like the one of the ones that I would prefer. Not because I like Daryl's character. I think his character could have been written out a lot better. And like, there's not really much to the character. He looks like a badass. Don't get me wrong. I love his crossbow. He's basically gonna be one of the reasons why I ever want to pick up like bow and arrow or like crossbow. Like, I love the fact that he uses a bow and arrow. It's amazing. Um, if he's the last one standing, that would be amazing storytelling, because he's actually one of those characters that he can say a lot, but he does it just because he doesn't want to get close to someone and lose them. It's happened to him a lot of times in the show where someone starts to get close to Daryl and then they ended up dying, and he doesn't like the feeling of losing someone, and he keeps a lot of things to himself. You actually got to keep prodding, and eventually, he ends up opening up. But it's not always a good thing, because he ends up holding in all that when you die. Like, he actually is one of the major characters that when someone dies, he takes it on himself, and that that puts a lot of burden on him. The second way he can die is, I feel like it would be like the hero's way of doing things. Well, not heroes, but it would kind of be like a revenge kind of thing, where it's like, Carol ends up dying, and that's like his final straw, and he snaps and he starts basically killing off a whole bunch of survivors or just walkers around. I'm pretty sure Carol is also gonna die coming pretty soon. Probably gonna end up going into like this rage, killing a whole bunch of survivors, and then she's gonna die. Daryl's gonna either watch it happen. I mean, if she gets killed, but like if Negan like hits him with Lucille, that would be the fucking. That's it for Daryl. Like, he's going out. He's dying around. He's dying right around there. Like, there's no way he's making it out of it alive. If Carol ends up dying, there's no way he's gonna end up going into like this berserk, fucking like blind rage mode, just killing off everyone. And that that's the second way I would think he want that I think he would go off. That see how I'm saying I think to these two. It's not like uh, these are the ways I would like him to go out, but this is the way he's actually gonna go out. So if you recall, remember when Negan was sitting all of them down and he was playing any miny mo with them, basically, catch a tiger by the toe. So he's going around, putting the bat in front of everyone. And the one that it lands on when he says a tiger, and they even put emphasis on the tiger part, which I found was really strange. He was like, a tiger, right? It sounded a lot different in tone and in the way he like naturally was speaking. Like it seemed like he didn't care, but when he pointed to Daryl saying a tiger, he said it with a lot of emphasis. That with the actual fact that now we have a tiger named Shiva, I feel like he dies when Shiva dies. I feel like if Shiva dies, I feel like Shiva at this point, the tiger is a symbol for Daryl, because in the end of one of the episodes, he was actually petting the tiger, and this guy, I think Morgan, comes up and he tells him like, you don't know how difficult it is, or like you know how hard it is to get that tiger to like you, and she's like purring, basically going up to him. And honestly, like I feel like when the tiger dies, it's to be a symbol that Daryl is gonna die either with the tiger or around that episode, because and then going to that like catch a tiger, reference by its toe, and also there's been a lot of references to him being an animal like a tiger. So I believe when Shiva dies, he will die. There's a lot of foreshadowing to this. The tiger being the main part. I feel like the tiger actually symbolizes for Daryl. It's gonna suck, but I feel like that's the direction they're heading. Because if you've seen the comics, you already know what happens. I feel like that's when they off the character too, because that would be the perfect way of doing so. Like he'll die next to his tiger, and they'll just stare at each other when they're both like like lying down, and Daryl will cry or the tiger will cry, and or he'll just be staring at the dead tiger, and he'll like pet her when he's about to die, and he says something to her that means something like, I know how you feel, or it's time for us to leave this cage or something. Something really symbolic. I hope that they start showing more of the him and the tiger, because that means I am without a doubt correct about this. Now I don't want to sound like I'm cocky or anything about it, because like The Walking Dead does a really good job of doing like for shining the character, and I think this one, I feel like this is the way Daryl dies, with the tiger. All right, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been DInoMatrix, and I'm signing off.